Ask me a question.
How do you close deals?
How do you close deals? Okay. You first build rapport. There is this framework called CDGP method. Call it CDGP method. What it means is that in sales, there is current situation, desired situation, gap, and pitch, and then objections. Okay? So that's CDGP method. And how it works is that you start a call. First, if you're closing a deal, you check your calendar because you're working from home. You go to your PC with your Google Calendar and you see there's a meeting. Okay? Once there's a meeting, you check the application. There's usually an application that people apply because it's like patient. They're patient. They have a problem. They're telling you the problem. What is important already? You're like already like flagged. Then what you do is that you hop on a call. Start a call. Hi. What is your first letter? Don't say your name. What's your first letter?
S.
Okay, S. Hi, S. Is this... No, you start a call like this. Hi, it's S. Just say yes.
Yes.
This is some role play. You can just like... You need to act like you are some prospect. You are just, let's say... You are just some guy who wants to make money online. Okay, cool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this S?
Yes.
Gotcha, S. How's your week going?
Great.
Great. So I ask, how's your week going? Just like someone building rapport. And then you ask this. By the way, where are you calling from?
Home.
Home. Usually like from city, usually from city because they're all around the world, these clients. It's like 24/7. So you can like always work your own schedule. You have your time flexibility because you're working with different clients in your own schedule. Okay, from Helsinki. Gotcha. And you book this call about becoming a closer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Gotcha. So basically, you make sure that he booked a call about doing this X thing. Then, if not, you just cancel the call. You say, sorry, but like, yeah, usually people book these calls because they're becoming this person. If not, you just give free resource and just like disqualify him and just like tell him to go to YouTube to watch some more videos to learn more. Because you only work with people who are serious and who are like action takers, not people who are waste time. Okay? And then you're like, you say this. Okay, how this college goes, you set the frame. How this college goes is at first, I understand more about your current situation, your desired situation, what goals you want to achieve. And then kind of like, what's that biggest challenge you're facing your goals? And at the end, I will just show you what's going on here. And then you ask him, sounds fair enough? He says, yes. Then you say this, cool. What was your main motivation for scheduling this call? He tells you what's his main motivation. After that, what happens is that you go deeper. What do you mean by that? He's like, blah, blah. I didn't understand. Can you like clarify this? So basically he spends more. And the reason why you're asking these questions isn't because like you need the answer. It's because he tells the answers to himself that he is strong with this team and why it's for him important, not you. It's called Socratic dialogue. It's from Influence, the book Influence from Robert Cialdini. Okay, and then you basically go to current situation. You ask him this. I usually do this in my closing calls. So I say this: write down your current situation, what you're grateful for on paper, and then what do you like, what do you absolutely hate, what do you want to change, and why now? Like, why now? Let's go one by one. What's your current situation? Working 9 to 5. What do you like? I mean, it's like fine, I make good money. Gotcha. Then you ask him like, why you want to fix this problem now? What is the urgency? Like, why now? If there's no urgency, there's no reason to buy now. It doesn't make sense to sell. If there's no urgency, there's no sell. Because why you should buy if there's no urgency? In sales, in closing, there always needs to be some urgency. Because if there's no urgency, like people will not move forward. They will say to you at the end, and think about it, and talk with my dog. They will all give you all these objections. So urgency. Why now? And he tells you why now. You don't move forward if he doesn't tell the answer. Okay. Why you hate this thing that you have going on here? Oh, because of X, Y, Z reason. What do you mean by X, Y, Z reason? Oh, gotcha. What if this thing continues like that? And he tells you. But again, he tells himself that. Then you're like, cool. Let's be a little optimistic. Let's move forward to your desired situation. What your goals are? Tell me more about like, what is your 12-month goal look like with this thing that you are closing for? Yeah, I want to, I don't know, get to 12% body fat in next 12 months. Then you're thinking like, okay, how your life would be different at 12% body fat? I would get more attention from people, I don't know, people would respect me. Maybe I would look more attractive to opposite sex, all that stuff. I would be healthy, I would make more money because people treat me more seriously, all that stuff. And you're like, gotcha. But like, why is it important for you? You don't get it right now? He's like, no, I don't get it because I'm right now fat. I'm like 20% body fat, and people kind of like are rude to me. You're like, gotcha. So it's basically very important for you, right? He's like, yeah. Then you ask me these questions, and you want him to say yes, yes, yes. More yes he will say, the better in the closing process. Okay? Then what is the next? Is that okay? You went through goal, desired situation. Then you go back, the gap. I call it the gap. There is the desired situation, the 12% body fat, and there's like the current situation. Okay? So it's the middle of the gap. Like, what's the biggest thing that's stopping in the middle for him to go from here to here? And you ask him, what's like S? What's the biggest thing that's stopping you to do 12% for you? What is the biggest thing that's stopping you to get to 12% body fat on your own without me? And he tells you, I don't know how, or I don't know, like, I don't have knowledge, skills, experience, I don't know how it works, all that stuff. Main thing is this. If he tells you, I know everything, say, I mean, looks like you all know everything. Like, I wish you good luck, and it was so good to meet you, and that stuff. But if he says like, I don't know, then you don't move forward. But you don't move forward if he doesn't tell you, like, how to do it. Okay, you move forward. Next thing, you're like, yes, let me ask a question. So, we went through everything. I can tell you more about what I do, but let him know where do you want to go from here. And she tells you, or he tells you, yeah, like, tell me more about it. Then you're like, gotcha. So, you state this. I help X people to get Y result using Z method. And typically, the best clients I work with are X, Y, and Z. Cool? Yes. Gotcha. And usually, there's three or four steps, you create them. There's 3 steps for you to do this. Okay? Do you want to hear more about them? Yeah. Okay. Do you have pen and paper? Yeah. Okay, cool. Number 1, you get your diet in check. Number 2, you get sleep in check. Number 3, get training in check. These are 3 steps. You go more deeper in summary, but okay, let's move forward. Let's be fast. So, once you do 3 steps, you ask him, are these steps simple? Yeah. Do you have, no, ask this. What specific questions do you have on these 3 steps? He tells you, I don't know, this, you're like, gotcha, this is how it works, this is how it works, this is how it works. It's clear? Yeah, gotcha, okay. And you ask him, if you're also, it's called temp check, temperature check. From scale 1 to 10, 10 being like, Elias, this is absolute perfect, I'm ready to get started. And 0 is like, Elias, I think this is bullshit, like, this is not for me, I don't get it, I hate you, I don't trust your company, I don't trust you. That's 0. Wherever you land from 1 to 10. And he tells you this. On average, everyone says like usually 7. 7, gotcha. Let's pause for a second. Let's imagine there was like 10. What is the biggest thing that's stopping you to go from 7 to 10? And you wait for him to tell you, okay, it's this thing. You're like, I mean, no worries. Like, that thing is this. So basically, kind of like solve them. Have the objections here. Then you move forward. You're like, okay, so you think it's 10? He's like, yes. Then you say this. So money aside, You think this is 100% perfect thing for you to do and you're ready to get started. He's like, yes. You're like, cool. Why do you ask him this question? Why do you think this for you 10 out of 10? Okay, he tells you. So now he believes it's 10 out of 10. You're ready to get started. And he believes that X method is key. And he believes that you're the right person to help him. Once these things are clear, you drop the investment. There's two options. You can say, okay, let's keep it simple. There's one option. So you say this. The investment is depending on the product. So S, how much is the investment? What do you want me to sell? The weight loss product. Okay, weight loss product. So the investment is only 9.8K. 9.8K. 9,800. Okay. He's like, fuck, that's a lot. And you say, no worries. Money aside. Is it still 100% perfect thing what you want to do? He's like, yeah. So money aside, you want to get started? Yeah. Gotcha. So it's only about the money. He's like, yeah. That's this. Can you be transparent with your finances for a second? Can you pause for a second? He tells you, okay, this is how much cash I have, blah, blah. You handle objections, and then you close the deal. Let's say he did. Yes, give me some objections. And then think about it, say some objections. I said to you, it's 9.8K. Give me some objections.
I don't have the money.
You don't have money. No worries. Money aside. Do you believe this 100% perfect thing what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay. Then you basically make him custom plan, custom game plan. You somehow get the objection handled and he'll find money. Because I don't believe people can afford it. Because, yes, if I gave you Lamborghini car, that's $300,000 car, for $5,000, no, actually for 9.8K, you'll find the money. But, yeah. So, let's say I don't have time. You ask the prospect, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? You reasonably ask, what do you mean by that? Because sometimes these objections are bullshit. And that's how you ask the questions. Okay, let's say it's like, and think about it, you say, no worries. How long you think about it? Like, 10 years, I'm joking, not 10 years, but okay, 3 months, 2 months, 3 weeks, how long? It's like, no, like just a few weeks. I'm like, no worries, just chill. Say, no problem, no worries. But all this thing aside, like, what's the biggest thing you're thinking about? Yeah, I'm thinking about, like, maybe this one's for me. You ask him, why do you believe this is for you? And he tells you. Then you have that. Let's say he's like, yeah, I talked with my wife. You're like, no worries. Like, what if your wife says, no, yes, you shouldn't do this. This is bullshit. Would you still quit on your goal of 10% body fat? And then you say, then he says, no, of course not. Like, I want to do it for myself. You're like, sure. So I'm trying to put responsibility in someone else's hands. And it's like, yeah. And you're like, no worries. I was just like you, and I was like that too. You're talking like stories. You break beliefs by telling stories. But the main thing is this. You need to do it ethically. You need to tell stories that are true. Because some people are telling us the stories they create from their ass. Some stories like, oh, yeah, I was also like this, even though they weren't. So you need to be ethical and tell stories that are true. Because if you tell too much stories, you can be this storyteller, liar, and you'll have this bad reputation as a closer. So I don't recommend that. Because there's many people who are like that. I have few guys I know from when I was younger, and there are these storytellers. They tell stories. Yeah, I know, like Elon Musk. They're these type of guys, So yeah, you handle objections, then you collect the payment, and then you sign an agreement, and then you onboard the client. This is very important. In next video, I'm going to talk about like how to onboard, because this is the most important thing in closing the sale. Nowadays, it's more about like fulfillment than like acquisition and closing deals, because it's not like one night stand, Like, same thing. It's kind of like girls. If you just close the client and you don't care about the client, one, there's going to be rape accusations, refunds. It's called refunds, okay? So you need to actually care about the client and onboard the client. With clients, you basically onboard him, give him access for everything, give him onboarded, make sure he's happy, handle all the objections, all the questions, and then you leave him. With girls, it's similar. You close the deal and you make sure she goes home safe and take good care of her. Okay, same thing. Okay, then the next thing we're going to cover is that's the closing process. And in summary, we covered, I think, everything And if you want to learn more about how this thing works, how you get started with closing, for you to get 6-figure position in 3 months, let's do this. Just, I don't know, maybe there's a link around here. If you want, I'm not saying do this, you know, if you found some value in this, do a call with me or my team, usually it's my team, talk with them and let's talk. That's it. So do that, or let's do this. Watch this next video about how you do fulfillment in closing, because if you just close deals and you don't do fulfillment right, it's kind of like fucked, because you get rape accusations and disputes and all that stuff, and you get refunds. For that reason, what is next video about how you do that? See you there.